Alrighty, guys. Good evening to everybody here. How are y'all doing tonight? We're going to roll live early this evening just because we have some storms that are kind of popping up in the UP as well as down in the southwest part of the state in Berrien County. So we're going to do our weekly stream about 10 minutes early tonight just to get it out of the way and get it over with. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the week ahead. What's up, Dee? What's up, Trisha, Kim, Richard, Terry? Good to see everybody in here. I'm going to warn you, we're probably going to speed run through this as best as we possibly can. Again, I'm trying to get this done and over with just in case something does go warned. If something does go warned while we're live here, I'm going to stop the stream, and then Joel is in the background waiting to go live if need be. So there'll be an abrupt end and likely an abrupt startup of another stream. So keep that in mind as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this week ahead here. Flipping this over, temperatures for today, we are pleasant, upper 70s, mid to upper 70s across much of the state. We are looking at a pretty much repeat day tomorrow. I'll go flip this back here to the 18Z, gives us out a little bit longer. I can actually, there we go. For your Monday here, repeat across the lower peninsula, mid 70s or so. The UP, a little cooler, stuck in the 50s and 60s for tomorrow. As we move into the Tuesday time frame, another repeat day. A little bit cooler though, right around 70 degrees for your high temperature Tuesday afternoon. We got some rain chances out there. We just talked about some of these rain showers and storms popping up across the state as expected. There is a low chance one of these storms may go severe, especially this one up here in Marquette County. We're also watching these pop-up cells down in Dickinson, Menominee, as well as Berrien County way down here close to the Indiana border. We're going to watch these a little closely, a little closer than usual. As these may have a slight chance of becoming severe with damaging winds, perhaps some hail with these cells. But otherwise, should be a pretty quiet day on the severe weather front. But going into tomorrow, more so scattered storms as a possibility for your Monday. Here is the latest model guidance. Here's today, for example. Got some pop-up cells up there as expected in the UP. Also some cells down here in the western part of the state. That is expected. But as we move into tonight, that will slowly push eastward here. And as we get to tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see a increase and a redevelopment of our showers and storms here across much of the state. Now, once again, tomorrow, these shouldn't be overly concerning, but I would not be shocked if one storm tries to go strong with, maybe some dime-sized hail and maybe 40 or 50 mile per hour winds, maybe isolated severe if we're lucky or unlucky. If you want to call it unlucky or lucky, however you view it. Wouldn't be shocked, though, to see a stronger storm tomorrow as well across the lower peninsula especially, but there's a chance for a storm up there in the UP as well. And that, for the time frame reference, is peak heating about 2 p.m. to as late as about 10 p.m. or so for your Monday. After that, we're going to dry out for our Tuesday. And take a look at these long-term forecasts here. If I can find, there it is. The long-term forecast based here out of Ann Arbor. We're looking at a pleasant week upcoming, a bit warmer toward mid to late week, low mid 80s there. The story, and then a drop back for the Sunday, Monday time frame, then an increase, perhaps our first shot at widespread 90-degree temperatures there for that middle part of June. We're going to watch that time frame closely. Overall, though, not a bad week upcoming. When we go back to the European, though, we're going to have chances of rain throughout. So here's today. We're getting some rain chances across the state. Here's Monday. Again, rain chances across the state there. Tuesday should be drier. Maybe the UP, a little bit of a shower up there. But Tuesday should be on the drier side when you put it all together. Wednesday should be on the drier side as well. Thursday, a chance of a passing shower across the lower part of Michigan. Shouldn't be a big deal there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rain chances will increase once again, especially as we get to Friday and into Saturday morning. That's when we're starting to see an increase in our precipitation chances there. As we move into Saturday, rain will continue And then as we get to Sunday, a little bit drier there, and we dry out for the weekend, and perhaps a little bit of a cool down there as that front passes through, but then a resurgence back into the 80s and perhaps even a 90-degree stat by not this week, but the upcoming week, but the next week, so to speak. Also, to keep note of, with the rain showers pushing through the state tonight into tomorrow morning, we are going to look at an increase of our wildfire smoke behind it. So here is a map of the wildfire smoke. The normal color for the map is down here, grayish blue color. And anything that's kind of like purplish blue, orange, that is your smoke, okay? As we move with this front, here comes the smoke back into Michigan overnight tonight into Monday. We're going to have hazy skies once again tomorrow. And then check out the new smoke getting brought down with the wind field here as early as Monday night into the Tuesday morning time frame. By Tuesday morning, that kind of curls up a little bit of a interesting U shape here. Make a smiley face. It's kind of interesting here. It's just kind of the way the jet stream is patterned here. But southeast Michigan may have a very hazy sky to deal with for Monday night. As we move into the Tuesday time frame, that smoke will continue to fill into the state, and then that will get thicker as we move throughout Tuesday. So the wildfire smoke is not going anywhere, unfortunately, the next couple of days here, as northwest flow winds that are out of Canada basically bring that smoke down into Michigan. That's not going to change. So unfortunately, many more days of the smoke to deal with. Luckily, though, the air quality today has been a little bit better than the past couple of days, but still, it's not going to be pleasant for those with asthma or COPD, things that are, respiratory related, people deal with. If you're sensitive to that kind of pollutant, stuff like that, you're going to suffer here regardless throughout the next couple of days, unfortunately, for you guys. All right, going into the long-term forecast here, we're looking at the next 6 to 14 days or so of temperatures here in the state or in the Midwest. We're seeing near normal temperatures between June 14th and 18th. That is right on par with average or so. Go to the 8 to 14 day, we stay near normal, but as we move toward that late June time frame, I am seeing a warm up here, and the CPC does as well. We are in an above average precipitation contour for that last week of June into the first week of July. I do think the warmer weather is going to be coming toward that late month time frame, perhaps our first shot at widespread 90s for multiple days in a row. That is all thanks to a ridge pattern we're going to talk about here in just a second. But with that being said, the week 3 to 4 time frame is one to watch here for above average temperatures. Now, speaking of that ridge pattern, I got to find what I'm looking for. I guess it's right here. We'll go right here, and we're going to flip this over here to our heights. Yeah. So as we move toward that late June time frame, we've been talking about this ridge here. Drew had a video on it. I know I did a video back in the late part of May. But as we get this ridge, what a ridge is basically like a jet stream that kind of goes over the northern half of the U.S. It kind of looks like a weak looking N. It's a very, very, very shallow slope, so to speak, kind of like a ski slope maybe. Up and down, roller coaster. There we go, roller coaster. What this does, though, is it allows heat, warm air to build up in the central U.S. So this part of the U.S., likely hot, likely going to be warmer than average. But also with these ridges come chances for storm complexes, and we are seeing that chance here across the Midwest and Great Lakes region. Our typical complex, we call them MCSs. These are the types of systems that also perhaps can cause our derecho. This is what we call derecho season, June, July, August here in Michigan. A typical pattern for this, not out of the ordinary at all. But with this complex, or with this ridging here, comes chances for complexes to form and ride along that ridge into our region. So something to keep an eye on there toward the late June timeframe into the early July timeframe as well. And kind of putting that together here, going back to the map I did have up originally, the precipitation anomaly, the average here, does contain above average precip here in that Great Lakes region, which kind of hints at a more active pattern with that ridge. So that tells us we could have severe weather chances with storm complexes around that late June timeframe. So that's been something we're going to keep an eye on and haven't kept an eye on for the past couple of days and weeks here, and that continues to trend to be the case. So otherwise, looking at pretty much a average June, precipitation wise and temperature wise, not much to write home about. No severe chances on the horizon that we see. Of course, there's obviously a chance today for an isolated severe storm. Let's put it this way, there's nothing significant on the horizon. So I'll put it that way. We could have a a pop-up storm or two become severe, sure, but widespread organized severe weather, big lines or supercells, not seeing that on the horizon just yet. But again, could see a stronger storm or two today and possibly tomorrow as well. I sped run through that as best as I possibly could. Let me know how you guys receive that. Any questions, feel free to ask. I will not be on here too much longer. Again, we're kind of monitoring for potential for severe weather here tonight. We have some storms that popped up over here in Marquette County. It looked better here a few scans ago, but then it kind of just weakens out just a bit. We're going to watch that closely. And again, down here across Dickinson, Menominee, actually have a severe warning here for Marinette County in Wisconsin. So we're going to watch that. That's pushing toward the southern half of Menominee. So just overall, keeping a close eye on things tonight. Not a huge threat at all. In fact, there's actually no risk from the SPC today. But wouldn't be shocked if one or two of these storms does become severe, with damaging wind being the primary concern. Shouldn't be a long-lasting threat either. So that is the gist of things. Yes, you can rewind and watch again if you need to. That is also a option both on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can always rewatch. If you missed anything, it's always welcome to go back and rewind and catch up. So we'll go hour by hour here with the model. So current time is 7 p.m. And here's what the model says the radar should look like at this current time. As you can see, we have cells up there, a little bit to the further west than expected, but they're still up there. Also down here further to the south, we have some cells and some storms popping up in the western half of the state. Hour by hour here, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Here's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., by about midnight or so. Do keep in mind that there are going to be places across southern Michigan that may not get rain at all. These are kind of spotty in nature where the heaviest of rain is going to fall. So not everybody's going to see a storm today or perhaps even rain today. As we go into the overnight hours, though, here's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on, got somebody in chat here. I think it's a bot. Anyway, here's at 9 a.m., 10, 11 a.m. Here's noon tomorrow. I have to go through the afternoon tomorrow as well. We have a chance for some storms. Here's 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Got some pop-ups starting right around that 2 p.m. time frame. Here's 3, more scattered to widespread. Here's 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Little popcorn cells that kind of pop up and kind of do their thing and kind of weaken back out. But here's 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., or tomorrow, remind you, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. By about 10 or 11, we're done for the day tomorrow with any rain and storm chances. Again, severe weather is really not, we're going to say, expected per se today, but there's always that chance during the summer time frames where these little, we call them instability storms, they can and sometimes do become strong and perhaps severe. When I say there's no significant severe expected, I mean that in terms of like big storm complexes, supercells, things that are going to last long and impact a lot of people. When I say significant, that is what significant means. Today, there's a chance of a pop-up storm that becomes strong, perhaps severe. It's going to impact a very localized area. It's not going to be very long-lasting in nature. There's a little bit of a difference there. No problem, Kendra. See a member, Bill, become a member of the EF0 status. Thank you, Bill. Welcome to the team. Trisha, the smoke will be the worst Monday evening. Going back to the smoke model here, the heaviest of smoke is going to push in Monday evening here. I'm going to pause it right about here. A little bit more concentrated area of smoke. I'll go ahead and zoom in for you actually so you guys can see it a little bit better. There we go. Back this up to the 18Z. We're going to roll that into Monday evening. Here we go. It gets a little bit thicker there, especially across southeast Michigan, but after that kind of increases in coverage there as we get to Tuesday as well. So Monday night will usher in some thicker smoke. Most of it's going to be on the elevated in nature. It's not going to be on the surface, but you're going to notice some haze for sure. But majority of this will be above our heads. Here's surface smoke. You can see just a little bit there, not too much, just a bit to kind of mention. Shouldn't be a huge issue, but again, elevated wildfire smoke can still cause air quality issues, and it will likely cause air quality issues again here for Monday and Tuesday. Like right now, there's no air quality alerts out there, but if you look at your AQI, the air quality index, for right now where I live, it's 109, and that's considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. They'll continue likely into the next couple of days. When our summer temperature is going to arrive, I'm thinking mid to late June here. I think we're going to be kind of stuck in the 70s, low 80s pattern for a few days to few weeks. Obviously, we're going to have possibilities for higher upper 80s, low 90s there. But I think we're going to get to the really warm pattern here, summer-like pattern, late month. That's what I'm seeing on models, and that's currently what I believe to be true. So look to the last week of June is what I'm going to point to. Are we going to get any severe weather this year? Well, technically we already have, but going forward, yes. We're in our peak season currently. Now, good news is there's not anything on the horizon, but that could change very quickly, and I think it will change late this month into the early part of July. So I guess enjoy the quietness while we have it, because I do believe we're going to move into the active pattern here later this month. All right, I'm going to pop out of here. Before I do, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors. Again, I'm making this a little bit quicker tonight just because we are watching for isolated severe storms tonight. I don't want to overlap streams. Joel is waiting behind the scenes. If need be to go live for severe, I was handling the stream tonight. I wanted to kind of push it up a few minutes just in case we did have a storm that could go severe, which is why we're live a little earlier. And we're also going to wrap things up a bit quicker tonight than usual. All right. Look at the chat one more time. Amir, that's going to be June is our most active month for severe usually. But it doesn't mean we're not going to get severe in July or August. Our season goes until about the end of August, and it really starts ramping down into September. So if we can get through the end of August with minimal severe, I'll feel a lot better. But overall, we're still well above average in terms of our tornado, wind, and hail counts so far this year. So we've had a well above average season, but it's all come in 2 or 3 events. And that's good. There's not been a whole lot of threats or days with threats. But the bad news is the days that we did have were impactful. So give a shout out to today's spotlight sponsor of the day. It is Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors based out of West Michigan. They handle all your roofing and exterior needs. Give them a call, 616-900-8033. They are the sponsor, Spotlight today. So if you happen to need their services in West Michigan, feel free to get a hold of Top Gun. We also have other sponsors. I'll quickly shout out these to get through these. And once I'm done with this, we'll go ahead and end the stream. And if need be, go back live for any severe weather that does occur this evening. We have Shield Public Adjusters for insurance adjusting needs. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for commercial building and roofing solutions. Floor Coverings of Michiana. On Top Roofing, based out of Livingston County. Henkel's Tree Service, based in St. Joseph County. FBI Buildings, based out of Indiana, but they do cover most all of Michigan. Gull Lake Tree Pro, based out of the Kalamazoo area. Kuiper Tree Care, based in West Michigan. McKay Tree Specialists, based in Southeast Michigan. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based in the Thumb, Sanilac, St. Clair counties. Pro Powder, based in South Haven for all your powder coating needs. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Powderville, which is near Lansing. Lifestyle Exteriors, also based out of Lansing. They also cover Central Michigan. Stormguard Roofing and Construction, based out of the Detroit metro area, Macomb, Oakland counties. And then finally, Guardian Technologies, our Skycam sponsor. And if you happen to need any security, audio, video type needs, get a hold of Guardian. Those are our sponsors that help support us and keep us operating here. We could not do what we do without them. They do a great service for you guys as well by providing you services. These guys are all vetted, trusted, great reviews across the community. So if you happen to need services from one of them, feel free to get in touch. Or if you need help getting pointed in the right direction, you can reach out to us and we can get you with the proper people. One last look at chat here. It's always a possibility, Amir, we could get a moderate risk, but I mean, we usually get like one every year or two. I'm honestly surprised our last event, was it May 16th or what day was that? The day we had all those tornadoes back in May. I'm kind of surprised we didn't have a moderate that day. It was enhanced, but I think I tweeted out something that said it needed a red Sharpie, and that was kind of me saying it could have been a moderate, and actually verified as a moderate too, so. All right, we'll take one last look at radar here for you guys who are just tuning in. Again, we're going to wrap this up here right now. One last look at radar. Joel is monitoring stuff behind the scenes to go live. We have some showers and some storms that have developed. This has a nice hail core up here in Marquette County. Well, I'll watch that carefully. Down here in Dickinson, Menominee County's got a line moving in here. Watch out for hail and as well as wind. In fact, just got a new statement here for Marquette County just coming in. Says 1/2 inch hail and 30 mile-per-hour winds for this storm. Excuse me. Up here. So they're strong but not severe just yet. And then last but not least, down here across West Michigan, there's a couple storms here. One pushing into Allegan County. Doesn't look too impressive to me. Down here in Berrien, moving into Cass here. Another line pushing in. That does not look concerning to me at all either. I think the current thinking and the concern for at least myself personally is up in the UP. If that changes, obviously, we'll let you guys know. And Joel's ready to go live if need be. So with that being said, I'm going to pop out of here. You guys enjoy your evening. I'll catch you guys either tonight for severe coverage or sometime during the week on daily video. I'm Ryan signing off. You guys enjoy your Sunday evening. And if need be, we'll be live for any and all severe weather tonight.